Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Tool to Play presents Still Got Game with Derek DSmooth Nolan and Joel Duda Rock Albert.
This episode of Still Got Game is brought to you by ThinkGeek and the Craft Beer Club. Hey now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, Still Got Game, episode 359. Still Got Game is the official podcast of ToolToPlay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Roger Hitman Roken. What's up, guys?
What is going on, Hit? You are back in the co-host seat.
I know. This is like two in a row, right? I'm not sure. Is it two in a row?
This is 2 in a row with you,
wow.
yes.
Is it official now that Duty's we tell him that Duty's gone?
Just booting him.
Yeah, it's 2 in a row, Duty.
Although I think Hit prefers to only sit in the producer seat because his role is much more
the least
open
amount
to
of work possible.
Yes, he can partake in his extracurricular activities while he's producing the show, but
Correct.
not while he's starring on the show.
Correct.
But we'll try to keep this episode quick tonight, Hit, because obviously Tiff is not here either, so we have no Dude I Rock and no Electrify, so I will be reading the news and just about everything, and my voice will be gone before we know it. It is almost like a soliloquy.
You'll be fine. I have faith.
Oh, we'll see how this goes. We'll just jump in and hit the ground running with feedback from last week's show. Remember, if you want to leave us a voicemail, it will cut you off after a minute. Rockio comments. I've only been listening to you guys since 2014, but I consider myself a huge fan. Thank you for being a weekly, sometimes, reminder of how cool this industry is. Thanks, Rockio.
Yeah, cool.
I'm glad that you think that we're cool.
I don't remember when I started listening. It was a while ago. Like,
you were
probably late 2000s.
Yeah, I would say like
08?
2007, 2008. Yeah, somewhere around there.
Like, I wonder if because I started my job in 2007 and I was taking the train. That's when I started listening to podcasts, and I think I may have subscribed around then.
Well, that's good to know that.
Yeah,
yes, you're a longtime fan, and now an integral part of the show for the last several years.
How did it happen?
I know it's a rags to riches story, except there's no riches involved.
No riches. Quite the opposite.
Yes, it's a rags to screen time.
I owe debt. Story. I owe money.
But yes, so well, thank you, Rocky. We try to be cool, and as you can see, obviously we're doing a good job at it. All right, Sarah 11595 comments. You were doing so well not missing any shows. Please come back. We miss you.
Well, we miss you too.
Yeah. Hid and I were just talking about, hey, I really miss Sarah 11595. And like we texted back and forth all last week, and we decided that even without Tiff and Jay, we were definitely going to do a show tonight because we didn't want to, we missed you and we didn't want to let you down.
Full disclosure, if it wasn't for me, we would be in the longest layoff in the history of this show. Okay, these 2 episodes that I've come on, like, I should be given a gold medal. Because without it, there'd be the longest. You guys wouldn't even understand how long.
Yeah. You don't even know what's coming in the weeks ahead. There's even more fuckage that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But we are planning to do shows throughout it. Hit has assisted not only in being an on-camera asset, but he's got us all squared away so that hopefully in his absence while he's on vacation, there will also be shows, I think. And we'll see how well they turn out when I get to do the role of starring and producing like Hitman is. So
I'm just going to come back from vacation and like everything's on fire. And like, what happened here?
It'll literally be the worst quality show you will have ever seen. But that will make you all appreciate Hit that much more. And maybe you guys will start throwing Hit some donations on his channel, Watchtower Games. So, yeah.
Yes, that would be nice.
Yes. All right. And last but not least, Hardipus Prime comments. Your show is damn good. I have just recently been recommended it, and now I can't stop listening. I've been filling my spare time by picking old shows based on your episode names. So funny.
Very cool.
Yeah,
I wonder
based on the
who
episode
recommended
names,
it to her. I'm always curious about that.
Oh, you're assuming Hardipus Prime is a female.
No, I'm just saying, like, I wonder who recommended them. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm always curious to know who recommended. Why don't you let us know, Hardipus Prime? Like, we'd like to do the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon and trace this back to the original source.
We need this for our marketing research. Like,
Yes.
we need to know where we should concentrate our elusive marketing campaign.
Our advertising dollars.
Yeah. Yeah.
If this was in a college dorm room, that is where we will spend all of our advertising, is in college parties. We'll print out some flyers, Xerox them, and just tack them up everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, well, we appreciate the comments, everyone. And if any have awesome feedback like Rockio, Sarah11595, and Hardibus Prime, give us a call, 773-527-2961, or email us at podcast@toolsplay.com. On that, why don't we hop on over into what we're playing? What have you been playing this week, Roger Hitman Roken?
What have I been playing? Well, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I'm still chugging away on that one. We just got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Friday.
Nice.
Been playing that. That's actually surprisingly really good because I played the Wii U version. And what H1Z1 with my buddies, and that's pretty much it. I think that's all I wrote down in the notes.
Yeah,
Oh, and Pokemon Go, of course.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
We all got that in the back pocket.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. What about you? What have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing Destiny, doing the weekly raid challenges, just to keep things new and interesting and reminisce the old days. And I've been playing a shitload of the Quake Champions beta, which I cannot talk about, except for I can talk about what I played at PAX East way back when, and my experience with it now is the same as then, and it is fucking awesome, and I cannot wait for this game to come out for reals. But
don't you hate not talking about games?
I know. It's
like that with Sea of Thieves. Like, man, I don't have to say nothing.
Yep. Except that Sea of Thieves reminds me of the fun that I had at E3 playing Sea of Thieves when it was a publicly available thing. Yes, that's the limit to what you can say about these things. But yeah, actually, was Sea of Thieves? Did I play that this past week, or was that? I guess it was during our hiatus week. But yeah, I played that over that.
Yeah, actually, I played it last Saturday in that session.
Yeah, I ended up being with 3 complete randoms, and
all had mics.
All had mics, and we had a fucking blast. Like,
yeah, it all comes down to who you get. Like,
just
once that game comes out and you have like a full team of like friends and everyone's got mics, it's so good.
Yeah, if you can have a good time with 3 randoms with mics on the internet, then you can have a really fucking good time with 3 friends that you actually want to spend time with.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right, we'll hit on that. Why don't we hop on over into the new releases? There's only one major new release out this week, and is a multi-platform release, and is Prey, and this is out for the Xbox One, the PS4, and the PC. This is Bethesda's first-person action-adventure RPG, reimagining of 2006's Prey. Arcane Studios has been working on this since they completed the first Dishonored game. After that, they kind of broke their team in 2. Half of them went to work on this, half went to work on Dishonored 2. You play as Morgan Yu, and you're fighting your way through hordes of aliens aboard an overrun space station, kind of reminiscent of the original Prey. The game's done in the CryEngine, so graphically looks absolutely amazing. There's no early review scores out for it yet, but I'm predicting this is going to do pretty well, because the original Prey was super popular. For a while, there was Prey 2 in development, and eventually, just because of the rights between id getting them from 3D Realms and all this, all the right stuff fell apart, and that game ended up getting scrapped. But I love the original Prey, and I think this one's going to do pretty well.
Nice. I'm not big on the Prey. That I just never played them, so I'm not. Yeah, can't say much.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Fair enough. Not everybody's into first-person action-adventure RPGs, but yeah, it's a great series. I'm obviously not going to pick this up. I got too much other shit on my plate, but I definitely recommend it for if you're in that sort of game. Most definitely. All right. Well, on this super breakneck speed show, why don't we hop on over into gaming news? First story! I'm losing my voice before
already.
I start. Yes, I'm gonna since I'm doing everything, I'm going to take a little sip of my drink, ladies and gentlemen.
Hopefully there's some lemon in there.
There's a smidge of lemon. It's medicinal then.
Okay, it'll help.
All right. All right. Next-gen PlayStation system will launch in 2018, analyst predicts, and this comes from GameSpot. The wait for the next iteration of PlayStation may not be as far away as you expect, at least according to one analyst. The Wall Street Journal reports that Macquarie Capital Securities analyst Damien Thong said he expected Sony to release its next-generation PlayStation by the second half of 2018. Analyst predictions don't always pan out, and this isn't necessarily based on some inside scoop. But the Wall Street Journal reporter notes on Twitter that this is the same analyst who correctly predicted the PS4 Pro and Slim ahead of their respective launches. That certainly leads credence to the prediction, though in all likelihood we won't receive any official word from Sony for quite some time. The PS4 was announced 9 months prior to its release, while the PS4 Slim and PS4 Pro revisions were revealed just 1 week and 2 months respectively before they hit store shelves. Announcing a new system in the near future would undercut some of the hype for Microsoft's upcoming Project Scorpio, which stands to be more powerful than the PS4 Pro, but doing so would also likely have an impact on sales of the PS4 and the PS4 Pro. With Sony's console routinely outselling the competition, it may be too soon to tease new hardware. The Wall Street Journal report doesn't elaborate on what Thong believes the system will look like. Next generation PlayStation could mean the PlayStation 5. Scorpio launches toward the end of 2017, and if a new PlayStation comes less than a year later, the two will inevitably be compared. Scorpio, which is essentially a souped-up Xbox One, will be capable of playing all Xbox One games and hundreds of Xbox 360 games. If Sony launches a brand new system soon after it, will it be able to play PS4 games, or will its library be limited to new releases? That's a key question we don't have an answer to. So, thoughts on this hit?
It is way too soon, I think. Way too soon.
I'd agree, especially coming off the heels of the PS4 Pro that just came out.
Yeah, they're totally undermining everyone that has bought a PS4 Pro or the Slim in the last year. Like, I would be so pissed if I was one of them and be like, "What? I just spent all this money for this, and now you have this?" Like, this is what I've always been wondering about when they announced when Xbox announced the Scorpio. I'm like, how is Sony gonna react or counter to this move from Xbox? And I'm like, there's no way they're gonna counter with a machine that's even more powerful. Like, it seemed petty, and I'm like, nah, they won't do that. And I think a lot of other people agree with me, or thought the same as me. But now it looks like they're going that way. Like, I thought they just would have been like, let's ride this out.
Yeah,
it really shows you that Sony
just doesn't give a shit about their fans.
No. Maybe this is a question to you. Like, maybe this is Sony afraid of Xbox? Is this finally the turning point in the war? Like, it seems like they're scared. If they're countering with a, PS Scorpio, whatever, I don't know what you want to call it.
Yeah, if this news is real and this ends up panning out, then yeah, that's absolutely, this is a knee-jerk reaction to someone having a far superior product, especially when you start looking at the resolution the games are playing right now on the PS4 Pro versus World of Tanks tweeted out this week that they already have World of Tanks running native 4K 60 frames a second on the Scorpio hardware, and that's now. So
this crazy.
This is insane, and really it goes to show it once again. A caveat will be for everything we say. The caveat is if this is true, then Sony really, what should have happened is Microsoft announced the Scorpio specs, and Sony should have taken a step back and said, okay, we're going to be so far under. Like we're kind of splitting the difference between current gen and Scorpio with our PS4 Pro. They should have held off and done a revamp to that hardware before launching it. But instead, they went ahead and launched that. And the people that bought that are their PlayStation power players, the guys that want that high-end next-gen hardware. Now you're going to try to sell them less than a year from then your next set of super high-end next-gen hardware that's obviously going to have a premium price tag attached to it. That's just a fucking dick move. That's like, I can't think of any parallel anywhere else. Like, maybe in phones, but you know that a new phone is coming every year. You know, every year there's a new iPhone,
Yeah.
and you're going to go for it. But this is, you expected, if they put out this Pro, then you expected at least a multi-year gap before your next piece of hardware. That's just, it's not the right move. It's
Yeah,
kind
I
of,
don't think it's the right move at all. It's really, like you said, knee-jerk reaction. I also think that um, them doing this makes it seem like, because it takes time for them to make a new piece of hardware. It's not something that you just come up with in like a short amount of time. If you go back to the timing when the Scorpio was first rumored, I think that's when they may have started working on this. If you go back for the timing, they must have heard these rumors and been like, "Oh shit! If this is true, we need to get started now."
Yep.
And like, yes, they must have reacted then, way back then when we first heard about Scorpio.
Yeah, I don't know. I think even if they wanted to make something to compete with Scorpio, I think their better move would have been to hold off till at least 2019.
See how it does.
Yeah. See how, because you've already you were first to market with your quote unquote 4K console.
Yeah.
See what being the first to market gets you sales wise.
Not only that, like they're a market leader, and not by a little bit, by a lot.
They've sold 60 million consoles. They sold 20 million in this past year alone. Like
what's
up
the
from
gap?
16 million the year prior.
Like, what's the gap now? Like, what,
yeah, I don't even know what the. Yeah, I think it's somewhere between 30 and 40.
That's generous for Xbox.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they had all the time in the world. There's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
For me, like, I want Xbox to win this. Like, I'm always rooting for the underdog. But this is a feel-good story. I think this has got to be good for them as well. Like, the Scorpio is good news for them, and the fact that Sony's reacting the way they are is good for them as well.
Yep.
We'll see where this goes, but I don't think this is a good move.
No, especially when you see this flood of PS4 Pros, people are going to be selling back on the market if this comes out, and then it undercuts their middle end to low end market. Like, it ends up fucking them too in the long run, except for the fact that they end up getting a piece of hardware out there, and the fact that they're just trying to rush this out means, is it really the best hardware available? Probably not, because they're obviously just trying to get it to market. Like, Microsoft's been working on this for a long, long time, ever since the Xbox One launch.
Like, what if they come out to market like lower specs than Scorpio?
You can't at this point. You already did that with the PS4 Pro.
Anything's possible with Sony. They always make the wrong decisions. Like, always. I still feel like the only reason they're winning this fight is because Xbox screwed up so badly at that one E3.
Yeah,
and they just took advantage. And like, it wasn't anything that they did. It was just they just profited from it, and I think Xbox is going to profit from this mistake.
Oh, most definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Next story. Nintendo sold 2.3 million NES Classic Editions, and this comes from Gama Sutra. Nintendo recently discontinued NES Classic Edition sold 2.3 million units during its 5-month lifespan, according to Nintendo of America President Reggie Fils-Aimé. Speaking of time, Fils-Aimé said that Nintendo had originally planned to sell the pint-sized system during the holiday season last year, but upped production following unexpected interest. "We just didn't anticipate how incredible the response would be," said Fils-Aimé. "Once we saw that response, we added shipments and extended the product for as long as we could meet more of that consumer demand." The system retailed for $59.99 and came pre-packaged with 30 classic Nintendo titles popularized by the original NES in the 1980s and 1990s. Demand quickly surged past supply, and the mini console was infamously hard to find in stores due to its popularity. Despite this, the company officially discontinued worldwide production of the NES Classic Edition earlier this month, explaining that the plug-and-play console was never intended to be a permanent addition to Nintendo's roster. "From our perspective, it's important to recognize where our future is and the key areas that we need to drive," he told Time. "We've got a lot going on right now, and we don't have unlimited resources." So, what do you think about this?
This angered me when I first heard that it was being discontinued.
I know. I still don't have one. I want one so bad.
I luckily got one on Friday. Lucked out big time. I sniped one from Best Buy. I just actually got it in the mail today. I'm never opening that thing ever. But like when I first heard about this being canceled, it really bugged me. I was like, why introduce this and then take it away on us? I was like under the impression that I would eventually get one. Like I wasn't really worried. Once they announced it, I got really worried, and that's when I actually like went out to try to get one. I was unsuccessful once, and I was successful the second time. But I don't even know if they're gonna have any more. I think that might have been the last
Yeah.
through Best Buy. It's dumb. Like it's obviously popular. Their excuses to we don't have unlimited resources is the dumbest excuse I've ever heard.
Yeah, like the people working on the NES Classic were a couple hardware engineers that did it once, and they built the emulator into it, and then it was just send it off to the production facility. No one's updating this thing. No one's writing new firmware for it. No one's updating the emulator. Like they could produce billions of these things if they wanted to.
It was a dumb excuse, like to say they don't have unlimited resources. Like, come on, do you guys like money? Like, I feel like I don't know, maybe this is a conspiracy theory, but I feel like there's a reason why they discontinued it. Maybe they're going to introduce the SNES version.
Well, that's the rumored thing now too, is that's coming, but still, they can both exist at the same time.
Yeah, but it could also be maybe they're going to do a virtual console on the Switch and introduce those games on that store. We don't really know, but I feel like they're just not telling us. Like I'm not stupid. Like unlimited resources. Like come on, if you guys like money, you would build more of these things. I'm actually surprised they got to 2 million. Yeah, but they should have kept on going. Like I don't know. It's dumb. If I was an investor in Nintendo, I'd be like, what are you guys doing? Like we want money. Like start making money. Like we haven't been making money in the last 10 years. Like help us out here a little bit, but I don't know.
Yeah, the virtual console thing's probably a good reason because that's when they take these games where they gave you 30 games for $60, average price of $2 a game if you don't count the hardware. And on virtual console, they still sell these old fucking games for $5 to $15 each. It's insane.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I'm a Switch owner, so like if they were introduced as virtual console with these games, I would buy them. The sad thing is like say Legend of Zelda 1. I own that thing on like 8 different fucking machines. Like, I keep buying it everywhere. But I love the old games. Like, if I can play them on my newest console, then I'll keep buying them. It just seems like easy money for them. But I don't know why they couldn't have done both. Do virtual console and do this NES thing. Like who cares? Just make money. They're all gonna sell. I would have bought them on. I would have bought all the games on all of them anyway.
Yeah, exactly. For a guy like you, you're going to buy them everywhere. But this, like, despite all of us buying it also, this also appeals to that different market. It appeals to those guys
that when never played the game. Yeah.
Or that, like, people that were not in the loop. And it also appeals to the people that, like, think about when the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 2 were out. Or was that the PS3? Yeah, PS2. No, PS3 at that time. You go to a store and they were selling like something that looked like an Atari joystick that had a bunch of games built into it. None of us were buying that, but that was for the people that weren't going to invest in a game console. It was selling to another market that wasn't going to be in your high-end console market. They weren't going to pay $200, $300, $400 for a console and $60 a game. They were willing to pay $40 for a controller that played 20 Atari games. This doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. It doesn't, and it's Nintendo. Like, what you have to like realize at this point is, they never make any sense.
They never do anything.
It's just like Sony. Like, I don't know, maybe it's the Japanese culture over there.
Yep. Oh, it is. It absolutely
completely
is.
Different.
They never admit they're wrong.
Yeah,
and they always go with the corporate decision, which is why.
And it's not even that. It's just their cultural stuff too. It's like they just see things completely different than North America does. And I don't know. Yeah, it's just they never make any sense to me. But.
No. This is why Nintendo is still making consoles, and they didn't turn into just a software company 10 years ago.
Yeah,
they would have made such a bigger killing after the Wii if they just had switched over to software. But I don't know.
I know. Hey,
all right,
they're still going. So I don't want to see them die, but I question a lot of their decisions. Hopefully, they keep on going.
I question almost all of their decisions.
Yeah, all the time.
All right, next story. Kirby creator coded the original game with a trackball instead of a keyboard. And this comes from Gama Sutra. Sora Limited founder Masahiro Sakurai appeared on stage at a recent Kirby music performance in Tokyo, which is maybe not a huge surprise given that he created the original 1992 game Kirby's Dream Land while working at HAL Laboratory. What was surprising was the story he told about developing the game, which was reported via the Japanese game blog Game Watch and translated in English by the folks at Source Gaming. Sakurai reportedly said he used a twin Famicom console to develop the game and had to rely on a trackball to punch in code on an on-screen keyboard since there was no physical keyboard. It's like using a lunchbox to make lunch, Sakurai said at one point, going on to recall that he initially planned to have the protagonist of Kirby's Dream Land go flying off the screen when the player lost a life. However, that feature didn't make it into the final game. This sounds conspicuously like the way player characters are killed in Super Smash Bros., which Sakurai also created. He reportedly acknowledged the similarity on stage, but said it wasn't due to any conscious decision on his part. So, I hate typing in stuff on the Xbox using the D-pad and hitting the letters. I would never want to code an entire fucking game using a trackball and an on-screen keypad.
Yeah, that sounds really painful. Really painful. But I like hearing stories like this. Like, it's like it makes you wonder how the hell do they do it, and like, man, that's really difficult. Like, kind of when you hear about the guy that beat Crota using a Rock Band kit.
Oh, Rock Band guitar,
or like the guitars,
yep.
Like whenever I hear funny stories like that, I'm like, I just chuckle. It's they're good stories. Like, I would never want to do it myself. I would love to watch it. I think it would be freaking hilarious. But yeah, all the power to these guys that they can do crazy shit like that. I wouldn't have the patience for it.
No, and that Kirby game has to be thousands of lines of code. And and even if you say, like, conservatively, like, so you say each line of code is 40 to 60 characters and you're talking at least 1,000 lines of code, that's 60,000 characters of moving over with a trackball over a letter, clicking it in, doing the next one, and then that's assuming that you've typed in bug-free code your first time and you run it and it just works. And so then you go back and you're debugging your code and you're doing it all with a trackball and an on-screen keyboard.
Yeah,
that's just
wow.
I can't even imagine that. I just can't. Like, I hate typing in my email address.
He scrolled by the letter like a couple times, by like one, like son of a like.
And he's gonna go over the backspace.
Yeah, that would have happened so many times. There's no way he got every single character every time.
No, that's insane.
It's painful. Well, all to him.
Yep.
All to him. So Derek, what does this story have you saying?
This story has me saying, what the fuck? And on that, why don't we hop on over to the mailbag and voicemails? Altius asks, back in March, Phil Spector hinted at a Scorpio event prior to E3, but now we're down to just over a month. Do you think this will happen? Does it make sense to hold this event?
Hold on a second.
Well, first, it's Phil Spencer.
Yeah, I was going to say, who the fuck is Phil Spector?
Yes.
Was that my mistake, or was that in the notes?
Yes. So even Altius is not immune to errors. But Phil Spector is actually a guy, so I could see why he would have messed that up. So Altius, we don't want to alienate you. You're still perfect, and we still love your shit. Just to let you know. But yes, so Phil Spencer did hint at a Scorpio event prior to E3.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so my beef with this thing is. Going back home, let me bring up that question again. Hint to Scorpio. Do you think this will happen and will it event? Okay. I don't think this is going to happen. I think it's dumb to have this event now, especially since it's May and we're like, 5 weeks away from E3. And I don't think he hinted at this. I think this was just his marketing training kicked in.
And he just said something that made it seem like it was going to happen.
Yeah, he never I don't think when I heard it, I was like, no, he's not having an event. He's just saying the possibility. Maybe we'll have one, but probably not. That's how I took it. It bugs me that people think like, oh, why didn't he have the event like he said he was? I don't think he actually meant it.
But didn't Xbox do an Xbox One event prior to E3 that year? Prior to the E3?
Yeah, there is.
They did the thing like in March of that year where they went through, and that's when we first saw like the dashboard. It was like it was more like a video thing. It was like Larry Herb and
because then at E3 they concentrated just on the games.
Yes, yeah.
But that was a different time than what it is now. The PS4 Pro was like back then, like this year, like no, I didn't see it. I didn't see it happening. I didn't think that's what he meant when he said it, and I don't think they need to hold the event. I think they can just breeze through it and the first 15, 20
Mm,
minutes of E3, then get to the games.
mm.
I don't even think they're gonna talk about the console that much at E3. I think they'll do
Yeah,
like a press release beforehand and be like, "This is
see,
Scorpio. Here you
now I
go."
still, I still think it'll be front and center at E3, but
You
I
think
think
that's
that
how they'll open the show?
well, they're always going to
Okay.
open the show with a game, like they always do. It's going to be some exclusive game. The lights go down and boom, there's like in the old days it was Call of Duty. Now it's a
That's
Halo. It's a something.
I
Yeah,
don't think they're gonna start off with a game this year. I think if anything, they'll start off with Scorpio
yeah,
because
it's spot
they need to show the hardware to then to show
the
this is the
software running on
games
it.
that
Yeah.
run on that hardware. I
Mm.
think that's what they're gonna try to push to people.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that this event became less important once they gave that exclusive thing to the guys over in the UK there that they let them come to Microsoft. They showed them the hardware. They gave them every single spec of
Yeah.
everything. They let them. So I think that
Once they had that
alleviated
event,
some of that need for a thing beforehand to talk about the hardware, because now you let one of the most pro publications on the planet come in and really analyze the hardware and check things out, check out Forza running at 4K and all this other stuff. So now you've got that information out to the public. So you probably don't need that event to do the same thing when you
yeah,
already
because
had an independent third party do it now.
because you don't want to bore the audience with like this does 2.1 gigawatts of power. Like they don't people don't understand that stuff, or at least most people don't care about that stuff. Um, at least getting all the tech stuff out of the way. Like once we saw that release come out, that was the end of that event. Like any possibility of that event happening was out the window when they did that. But no, this
Yeah.
gives more time for E3 to be like, what's the name? This is how it looks, and these are the games that are gonna play on it.
Yep.
Um, because we don't really need to see it. We don't need to see all the stats and
No,
all that stuff. Yeah,
we need to see what the final hardware looks like.
yeah. What it
We
looks
need
like, what's the name, and how much does it cost, and
yep.
when does it come out?
And what are the first launching
Yeah.
first party games that are going to do 4K?
I'm more interested in like what games they're gonna show. Like it's a fun little game of maybe we can do it before E3 starts, with
Mhm.
like the whole crew. But like who thinks what game's gonna come out, like or they're gonna announce.
Oh yeah, we can definitely do
There are
like
some games
predictions.
that are like they're definitely gonna announce them, and then some other ones are like, oh, maybe they won't. Like Halo 6, will they show anything about Halo 6? I think so. I think it'll be
Even
like
though
a
they've said
CG
it's not
trailer.
coming. Yeah.
I think it'll be a CG trailer just announcing the game, and it'll be on Scorpio, but next year.
Yeah, well,
Um,
they do that all the time too. Is
yeah,
they'll show
yeah,
stuff for the next year, or sometimes years out. Like, look
yeah,
how many years we've been looking at Cuphead. I still
yeah.
want that fucking game, and that I've seen that now at 4 E3s in a row.
Oh man, I see that game all the time. I
I've
love it
played
every
it. I
time
played it
though.
at two PAX
Yeah,
Easts in a row and at E3. I've seen it at 4 E3s. Like, it's insane.
yeah.
But they say that's coming out this year, 100% guaranteed. So,
Maybe we did a Scorpio game. Who knows?
well, you never know.
Who knows?
You never know.
That and
But
like I don't know, Crackdown. I feel like
oh,
Crackdown's got to be on.
Crackdown could be
Yeah,
the big 4K game they show
yeah,
off. That's a good first
yeah,
party game. Huge open worlds. Take advantage of the 4K. Like, that would be an excellent choice to have. And that's already been teased that we know that Crackdown 3 is coming. So,
Same with Sea of Thieves. Like I wonder if they'll be like, oh, this will be a Sea of Thieves Scorpio game, or like stuff that we
especially where
know,
that's
stuff
being
we don't
cross
know.
developed for
Yeah,
PC and
yeah,
actually all their first party games now they've said are going to be PC and Xbox. So
yeah,
that allows them all to easily migrate to 4K.
yeah.
So
We'll see. I think this will be a really good E3 for Xbox.
yeah,
I think so.
yeah. Oh, I think so too.
I
This is
think
going to be
I think Sony's in trouble this E3, but we'll see.
it's going to be their show to own.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't screw it up.
All right, hang on. I got to boot this guy from our chat here. Sorry, everybody. No.
I didn't even see that.
All right, I'll let you do it then, Hit. All right. Well, that was an awesome question, Altius. And if any of awesome feedback like that, give us a call, 773-527-2961, or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. You can also comment in this episode's thread in the Tool to Play homepage. And sponsors! Remember, by supporting our sponsors, you help support Still Got Game. We got 2 sponsors, Think Geek and the Craft Beer Club. They sell 2 entirely different things, but they are things that appeal to our audience. So if you like geeky shit, any cool, Star Wars stuff, Star Trek stuff, geek stuff, whatever it is, you're going to buy it from Think Geek, no matter what. So instead of going to thinkgeek.com, go to toolplay.com/geek. Use our link and you will always get Think Geek's best possible coupon deal without even looking up or Googling coupons or anything. So toolplay.com/geek, you will get their best deal. The Craft Beer Club. Sometimes you want to buy a craft beer subscription for yourself. Sometimes you want to buy it as a gift. Sometimes you only want it for a month. Sometimes you want it for 6 months. Sometimes you want it for a year. It doesn't matter. The Craft Beer Club they will each month handpick a bunch of brews. They'll put them together. When you start your subscription, you get a bunch of pint glasses with it. It is a great thing for yourself, great thing to send as a gift. And you know what? If you go to toolplay.com/beer, you will get the Craft Beer Club's best possible deal without having to Google up coupon codes or whatever. So if you're doing geek stuff and cool toys and whatever, toolplay.com/geek. If you're doing a beer of the month thing or just a month of beer, toolplay.com/beer. Buy it that way and you help out the show. And if you want to sponsor us, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@toolplay.com. You tell us we're selling. We'll tell you should pay us. We'll sell it. You pay us. Boom. Done. Whew, 1 second. Gotta refresh myself after talking straight for 44 minutes. I am dying.
No show next week, guys. Derek will have no voice.
No, my voice is coming back. All right. Twitter us up. You can find everything Tool to Play related at twitter.com/Tool to Play. Everything podcast related at twitter.com/still_got_game. I, King of the Internet, got everything that's fucking holy at twitter.com/Derek Nolan.
And I'm at twitter.com/i6hitman.
Facebook the fuck out of us. Facebook.com/Tool to Play. Facebook.com/Derek Nolan.
Facebook.com/i6hitman.
We also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tool to Play. That's the place to find all of Tool to Play's archive video content, whether it's episodes of Still Got Game, whether it's old episodes of Quick Hits with Hitman and doing his cool thing that everybody loves, whether it's Thick and Thin with LB Duty and Hit, whether it's Tiff's immature interviews, or whether it's just gameplay footage that we put up there, or unboxings, or whatever. Go to youtube.com/Tool to Play and subscribe. Costs you nothing, and that is your instant portal to all of our archive video content. Also, please rate and review the podcast in iTunes. We need some 5-star reviews. Give us 5 stars, and that is a key thing, because that's how we move up in the iTunes podcast ratings. So a little 5-star review, help us out. It would mean a lot to us. Also, twitch.tv/Tool to Play. That is where Tool to Play does all of our live video content. So you go to twitch.tv/Tool to Play. The video's there live. It is awesome. That's where we do this show, Still Got Game. That's where we broadcast other games footage. Whatever. It's all there. It's live. And it is the place to go and follow us, and definitely tweak in on our live stream. So there's a couple buttons there. There's a follow button. You can follow us on Twitch and you'll be notified whenever we go live. But there's a more important button down there. It's a subscribe button. And that's how you kick back directly to the show and help us out. So if you click subscribe, $5 a month, piece of cake, no big deal, whatever. Helps us out tremendously. Definitely goes directly to us. But there's a little secret here. If you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, then you're also a Twitch Prime subscriber. And what that means is once every month, each and every month, you can go pick any one Twitch channel you want and subscribe to it absolutely free. Now, you have to go back every single month and redo it, but it costs you nothing, and that money goes directly back to the channel. So if you go to twitch.tv/Tool to Play and do it there, you're helping us out. Most definitely, it is the best thing you can do for us. So go there, follow if you must, subscribe if you can. And before we wrap up, I want to remind you all, you can join us each and every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, twitch.tv/Tool to Play. And on that, why don't we wrap this DSmooth and Hitman episode up? I am Derek DSmooth Nolan.
And I am Roger Hitman Roken.
Holla! We did it without you guys, Jay and Tiff. Ooh!